On a fateful day in 2005, Toys R Us took a $5 billion gamble, a gamble that would eventually lead to its downfall. This is the story of how a childhood icon fell from grace. Toys R Us, founded in 1948 by Charles Lazarus, was more than just a toy store. It was a magical kingdom for children, a place where dreams were tangible and shelves were lined with endless possibilities. From its humble beginnings as children's bargain town, a baby furniture store, Lazarus transformed it into a toy store by 1957, capturing the imaginations of children and parents alike. By 1983, it had become a publicly traded empire with over 100 stores nationwide and was dominating the toy retail market across the globe. The stores, with their colorful displays and Jeffrey the giraffe mascot, were a symbol of joy and wonder. But the seeds of its downfall were sown when private equity firms Bain Capital, KKR, and Vornado Realty Trust executed a leveraged buyout in 2005, burdening the company with a staggering $5 billion debt. The pressure of this debt was immense. Toys R Us was forced to pay $400 million annually in interest alone. This financial burden stifled its ability to innovate and adapt in a rapidly changing market. As the digital revolution gained momentum, the rise of e-commerce giants like Amazon and the shift in consumer behavior towards online shopping were challenges Toys R Us was ill-equipped to handle. Instead of reinvesting in the business and embracing technological advancements, the company was shackled by its debt, leading to a decline in its once vast selection of toys, a core part of its appeal. The enchanting variety that once drew families into the store began to dwindle, as did the magic that set Toys R Us apart from its competitors. In 2013, the inevitable happened. Toys R Us reported its first annual loss in over 25 years. The numbers were stark, with a net loss of $156 million and declining sales figures that echoed across its stores worldwide. The writing was on the wall, but the company struggled to regain its footing. Under the leadership of CEO Dave Brandon, who joined in 2015, efforts were made to revive the brand. Brandon, a seasoned executive with a history at Domino's Pizza, launched several initiatives aimed at revitalizing the company's image and operations, including store remodels and new marketing campaigns. Yet, the overwhelming financial pressure left little room for meaningful change. By September 2017, Toys R Us succumbed to its debts, filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The dream was over. The shockwaves of the bankruptcy were felt far and wide. 33,000 employees lost their jobs. Suppliers were left with $800 million in unpaid bills, and the cultural landscape of childhood retail experiences was forever altered. For the employees, many of whom had dedicated decades to the company, it was a devastating blow. The loss of stable employment and the community that had been built within the stores left a void that was difficult to fill. Despite the collapse, the private equity firms involved managed to walk away with millions, raising ethical concerns about their role in the company's downfall and highlighting the stark contrast between their gains and the company's losses. The closure of Toys R Us stores in 2018 marked the end of an era. Over 800 locations across the United States were shuttered, leaving behind empty storefronts and memories of bustling aisles filled with excited children. A beloved icon that had once been a staple in the lives of countless families was no more. The human cost was immense, with thousands of employees facing unemployment and communities losing a cherished retail destination. Parents mourned the loss of a place where they had once experienced the joy of picking out the perfect toy with their children, a rite of passage for many families. The root cause of this collapse was clear: an unsustainable debt burden that prioritized short-term investor gains over the long-term health of the business. Toys R Us failed to adapt to the evolving retail landscape, and the consequences were severe. The company's inability to compete with online retailers and adapt to changing consumer preferences spelled its doom. It was a failure not just in strategy, but in vision, a failure to see beyond the immediate financial pressures to the potential for innovation and growth. Ultimately, the story of Toys R Us is a cautionary tale. It's a stark reminder of the dangers of excessive debt and the importance of prioritizing long-term sustainability over short-term financial gains. As we look back on the rise and fall of this childhood icon, one thing is certain: the lessons learned from Toys R Us's demise will resonate for years to come. The echoes of its downfall serve as a warning to other companies navigating the pressures of modern retail, urging them to balance financial obligations with the need for adaptation and foresight. In the end, the legacy of Toys R Us lives on in the hearts of those who grew up wandering its aisles, dreaming of the endless possibilities that lay within. While the stores may be gone, the memories remain, a testament to the joy that Toys R Us brought to generations of children and the enduring impact of a beloved brand that, for a time, was the largest toy store in the world.